As we talk about the darkest things that the patriarch of the Greek Pantheon has committed, the real truth is that there is truly nothing evil and sordid that Zeus wasn't capable of. From the use of his divine power to deceive and victimize human beings, to his ultimate disregard for those who literally worship him, it's truly a wonder how Zeus isn't the villain of every tale. Is it acts of sexual assault, or drawn-out punishments that are really just thinly veiled torture? Join us as we take a look at the darkest stories about Zeus in Greek mythology. Infidelity and Lust. It must be problematic to have to juggle the fact that this all-powerful god had a complex character, but as much as we may want to limit him to a thunderbolt-wielding god of justice, the truth of the matter is that this all-powerful ruler of the Greek gods was just as complex as the humans and gods he ruled over. As much as he represented the might of the gods, one of his darker traits was that he also seemed to represent some of the flaws of his human subjects. For example, there wasn't a woman that was safe from the stirring of this lightning god's loins. His antics to get with women unlocked a side of him that was filled with deceit, lust, and betrayal. Despite being married to his sister, Hera, Greek mythology is filled with tales of Zeus's infidelity and their consequences to all his subjects. Using his powers to deceive and exploit these women, he'd take several different forms just to get with these women. For example, take a look at his encounter with Leda, the queen of Sparta. Overcome with the beauty of Leda, Zeus transformed into a swan before approaching Leda so that he could lay with her. This encounter resulted in the birth of Helen of Troy, whose beauty would eventually bring about the destruction of Troy. Another disgraceful tale concerning the lust of this notorious deity is his encounter with Alcmene. Overcome with lust for this woman, Zeus took the form of her husband, Amphitryon. This resulted in the birth of the demigod Hercules, who turned out to be one of the mightiest heroes of all time. Such was the legacy of Zeus, the god who had an unhealthy relationship with beauty and lust. Wrath. For one whose deeds often required forgiveness, it's actually how intriguing how angry and ruthless Zeus could be when it came to dominating and punishing his subjects. As much as he seemed to rule with fairness, you definitely would not want to get on the bad side of this mighty deity. His wrath was known to shake the heavens, a wrath that could be sparked simply by questioning his authority. Perhaps it was his position as the supreme deity of the Greek Pantheon that gave him this unbridled anger when it came to those who questioned his authority and his sense of rightness. Whatever it may be, the gods and the humans soon learned that you do not want to get on the bad side of Zeus. Take a look at Prometheus, the titan who made the mistake of giving fire to the humans. Rather than understanding that this was an act of benevolence to the humans, Zeus's subjects, Zeus saw it fit to punish the titan for eternity by ordering that Prometheus would be bound to a rock forever. As if that isn't bad enough, every day, an eagle will disembowel the titan, tearing through a fresh wound every day, so that the trauma would be just as fresh each time this punishment was inflicted on the titan. As you can see, it wasn't a great idea to get on the wrong side of this Greek god. Disregard for human life. Although tying a fellow deity onto a rock for all of eternity isn't scary enough, his disregard for those who looked up to him for comfort and protection can be even more spine-chilling to those who were subjected to the whims of this powerful deity. This disdain for humans was visible in many of his transactions with the humans he oversaw, up to the point where even though he knew his decisions as an all-powerful god would affect these subjects, Zeus's decisions only seemed to favor displays of his divine powers which betrayed his detachments to human life. Take the harrowing events that took place in Troy. Rather than quenching the roles of the gods in this dispute, or even showing some remorse for it, Zeus never intervened to prevent the destruction of this ancient city and the countless lives that were lost during this decade-long conflict. Also, let's take a look at the events concerning Pandora's box. In fact, it's said that Pandora and the box were only created following Prometheus's heinous acts of giving man fire. Such orders and acts only showed that Zeus was definitely detached from those who worshipped him.